Hello people, Society Lee here. Just recording a video of an Ezreal game I just played a few minutes ago. I was never a big fan of Ezreal, to be honest. I just don't. I like auto attack champions a lot more, and he's got a lot of skill shots. Just seem to be a bit of a hassle sometimes. But this game kind of showed the strength of, kind of made me aware of the strength of Ezreal. At least in the early and the mid game, I mean, I wasn't under the impression that he was going to be a strong late game carry. That was why I wasn't a big fan of him to begin with. I just like champions like Vayne and Trist and Cog. That it's like if you can just hold out to late game, you're going to be able to wipe the whole team. But this game was actually it was incredibly fun. You'll see that I started out with the kill on Leona just there. We got first blood by some of them, like two or three of them came to invade our blue buff, so we made the decision to go and steal theirs. Instead of trying to, have me and Mundo like run all the way over to our blue buff and then, potentially die there. We just decided, hey, we'll take theirs. And Jace apparently was unaware that we were waiting there, and Flash got his kill. That's why my Flash is down there. And then I overestimated my strength against Jace and Leona, and I got promptly punished for it and got completely melted. And so I decided to cut that out for the sake of my ego. But so yeah, I've got it's kind of an odd game. We've got some Mundo support here, which actually worked out pretty well. It's kind of like Maokai or Lux or just sort of poke supports. Works really well with Ezreal just because he's such a strong poke champion to begin with. Oh, I'm gonna have to flash out here. He's such a strong poke champion to begin with. I mean, it's really, really hard. I mean, if you don't have minions in front of you and you don't position yourself perfectly, you're just gonna get poked to death. I mean, it's pretty vicious. Oh, there we go. Oh, and I go down. Yeah, that's didn't have enough mana from Arcane Shift, which I actually found out you can't Arcane Shift in between the time it takes for Leona to stun you and her landing her Zenith Blade there. You'll see that later on in the video. But yeah, he's really tough to, especially if you've got I'm running flat AD Marks and Quints. And if you're not packing armor seals, you're gonna take a lot of poke damage in the beginning on an AD carry. Because I mean, you only got like, if you don't run any armor like runes or masteries, I think you're sitting at something around like 18, 15 armor. And I mean, those Qs they hurt, they really hurt, and it's on such a short cooldown. I think he may be a little too strong in lane, to be honest, right now. I've never personally had a big problem with him, but after this game, I think it's possible, certainly. He just that Q does a lot of damage. It's very long range, and it's on a very short cooldown. They recently tweaked him, so I'm not sure if they'll actually end up doing anything about it. So yeah, chilling, last hitting, and this Jace seemed really tanky this game. I actually killed him the least. He seemed to be a pretty good player. He never really did a whole lot to me, but he was one of the people on their team that was playing conservatively enough to not go negative. And you can see here just the strength. Cassidy comes in for a gank, and I completely whiff my ulti on the Leona, but Arcane Shift in, hit her with a Q, and she goes down. And I run out to drop turret aggro and come back in, try to do something. At this point, I was assuming that they were just gonna wait, but just back off. But they didn't want to, so they run in and give me another 404 gold. And at this point, at 10 minutes with 4 and 2, and I'm on my way to CSing pretty well. 50 at 10 minutes isn't too great. I'll drop a slow here on the Katarina. Duck into the bush. I'm just trying to poke her down enough so that she may think twice about continuing to chase me. And she goes there, and she keeps pressing the matter, and we start chasing her. I'm waiting on the cooldown on my Arcane Shift, and I'm staying far enough away so that she can't jump to me and potentially get a kill. And Arcane Shift, pick her up, and pretty clean kill. Mundo porting in. Seeing it's Ezreal works kind of like Ashe does. She's not really great in a like a full on, like if they start running at you and you just stand your ground and fight. He's kind of like Ashe in that you kind of have to kite a little bit. Like you can't just sit there and brawl straight up. You have to slowly whittle them down with those Qs and Arcane Shift and use the fact that you've got. That's probably largely the reason why Triforce is so popular on Ezreal. Just because it gives you, I mean, you make use of pretty much every part of that item. The slow on Phage is crucial. Sheen is procced by. Oh, I'm see, I'm trying to get this kill on Shin here. You'll see what happens. I don't end up getting it, sadly. But yeah, the Q pops his Sheen. So as in, it works. If you didn't know, it works by it modifies your next damage ability so that it's going to proc for double damage, double your base damage, not your current AD, because that would be kind of ridiculous. It procs for whatever your base damage is on the next ability that you're going to use, and it works like on Gangplank Q and stuff like that. So by the time your Q lands, you've already got the buff from Sheen, so you get that extra damage on your Qs. That really helps a lot. They start hitting significantly harder, especially early game if you can pick up a real early Sheen, because base damage is a lot more relevant in the beginning of the game. Obviously, if if you pick up a Sheen at like 40 minutes into a game, an extra 50 base damage isn't going to be that devastating.
Over here.
Ezreal coming in for a gank here. Wait till he jumps in so I can Arcane Shift away, because I don't want to shift and then him be on me, knocking me up in turret range. But he jumps to Mundo anyway, because he knows I'm going to shift away. And right here, I'm just trying to, because I know that they're going to try to take our tower, so I'm just putting as much damage on these minions as I can, safely without. Oh, that was a little too close right there. They could have jumped on me. I walk back, see Katarina going in, and I'm like, oh shit, Flash and Arcane Shift away. So it's a lot of distance that you can make with Flash. And I shoot my ulti here, put a little damage on all of them, trying to clear out those minions so that they can't just destroy our tower here. See, this is where Ezreal's strongest. See, I'm very safely putting some damage on all these people, and then Morgana comes in and ults. Everybody starts getting real low pretty fast. And see if I can I can't remember if I get the kill on her. No, I end up missing my Q here. Just barely. I don't think I would have gotten her even if it was going directly at her. They obviously got a ward in that brush, because some of the minions keep chasing me.
It's all skill.
Yeah, so just farming. I'm very serious about always having a solid CS score, because that's really in most games, especially in high elo, it's going to be the majority of your money is going to come from creeps. It's not going to come from kills. You see that happen a lot if you make a Smurf account and go play with some level 1s. You'll see that a much larger portion of their money comes from trading kills back and forth. And it's really not much. It's much less reliable to go for kills, and it's really, if you farm well, like if you're very good at last hitting, then you can definitely get comparable money from just farming and just trying to go for kills. You see me poking them down significantly with that Arcane Shift, because at this point, I'm 6-2. I've got Sheen, Phage, and a Doran's at 15 minutes. It's not bad, and I'm holding on to 1,800 gold. To be honest, I should have already gone back and bought. But you see the strength of the double jump here. Completely whiffed the ulti. She decides to jump back in for some odd reason. I'm not really sure. I think she probably would have gotten the kill without her coming into suicide. In here, if I'd had mana, I could have jumped on him right there, but apparently he's aware of that, or maybe he's not. I'm not sure. Get a little bit of this Mountain Dew here. Diet Mountain Dew, that is. So yeah, just farming. Gets in mid lane, he's about to jump on me, and I'm just gonna. He starts jumping on me, and I don't think he realized how strong I was at this point. He thinks he can take me, but that was not the case. Oh, and this is up. I thought this was hilarious. You'll see my mouse cursor freaking out. Worthless teleport. I just didn't want when I'm ahead, I make decisions like that. I just get really, really gold hungry. Just try to get as much as I possibly can. Yeah, just farming up some creeps on the bottom lane. I'm not sure what Mundo's doing here. He's just supporting me in my last hitting. Okay, I see what he's doing. Yeah, alright. I didn't realize that at the time. He's just getting them weak so we can push the lane a little quicker. Which, I mean, isn't really necessary because their first level tower's already down, and I'm not gonna risk going all the way to their second level turret without any wards. So yeah, running back 300 gold, pick up some, what do I pick up here? Yeah, I was thinking about going ahead and I was thinking about getting a Brutalizer, which by the way, it's so cool that it's leap. The cost of Brutalizer is leap, but I decided to bypass it and get Greaves and my Vamp Scepter. It's always good to pick up a, oh look at this, free double kill for Cassidy right here. All he had to do was jump in, hit an E, double kill, easily. That I was kind of upset that he did. You'll see I typed it in chat too. What was I going on? Oh yeah, I like to get Vamp Scepter early. Just you don't have to get Bloodthirster to just pick up a Vamp Scepter. It's gonna be very useful regardless. Shin coming in here. Gonna pick up the Jax. Yeah, I don't think they're not gonna be able to fight here like this. They put some damage, I just flash away and keep chasing. That's what Ezreal does. He acts like a real douche. That's what he is best at. I'm not sure. Shin totally putting down a weird taunt there. I don't think he even thought that he was gonna hit anybody.
Who needs a map?
But yeah, Ezreal's just really good at being a real douche. Like he doesn't ever fight. He doesn't ever just run at people. He just pokes you down until he can safely arcane shift in and throw a bunch of burst damage. Yeah, I was thinking about shifting away there. If Zen had gotten too close, I was just gonna shift away. But see, they're just kiting back and forth. Just because every time they come up, they're taking significantly more damage than I am if they're getting hit with arcane shifts every time. So yeah, just chilling mid. I obviously can't, in this situation a lot of the time, if the minion wave is bot, well not when I'm this fed, not when I'm 9-2, I generally tend to stay with my team because I have the majority. If there's 13 kills on the team and I have 9 of them, it's kind of a dick move to just go farm some more because the rest of your team really doesn't have that much money. So pick up red. It's really good that I got that because I mean Sheen gives you a good slow, but it doesn't. It's not a guaranteed slow. So even if your bot lane picks up a Sheen, not a Sheen. Did I say Sheen before? I meant Phage. So yeah, even if your AD has a Phage, it's generally a good idea to still give them red buff because it's not guaranteed. It's just percent, a percent chance to slow. And I'm trying to ult and get the Scatterine. I don't think I would have gotten her anyway, but figured I'd try and make a poop of pants a little bit. So yeah, just poke them down at the tower. I'm just kiting back and forth, and then once Morgana lands a binding, that guy's definitely dead. Your goal with Ezreal is just keep them at exactly the distance of your what's this Q again? It's not Essence Flux. No, I think it is Essence Flux. It keeps them at pretty much the max range of your Q, where you can still put damage on them, but they can't even think about engaging on you because the Q is very long range, very long range. So yeah, sitting at 11-2 now, and incredibly fed. Took a whole lot of turret shots there. I start heading bot to get this creep wave, and they ping the dragon, so we decided to pick that up instead. And I make sure you'll see me type in chat. I don't want anybody getting any funny ideas that they're gonna get the farm bot and not me. So heading bot after. Which, I mean, I don't really need the money. I could have definitely done with letting Morgana or Mundo get some more farm, but you know, Fed Ezreal is apparently really scary. I didn't. You have to play very actively as a Fed Ezreal. You can't. You have to be constantly poking people down to make full use of him. You can't just play like a Fed. Like say if I was 11-2 on Kog'Maw, I could just steamroll their whole team because at this point I'd have Infinity Edge PB and a Vamp Scepter and Zerg Greaves. At 21 minutes, I mean you're just going to be able to melt people's health. Ezreal's not quite like that. He doesn't do that much damage. Like sustained big damage. You have to kind of whittle him down. Along with the fact that his auto attack range is pretty short with respect to the other AD carries. So I'm thinking about getting a Bloodthirster here. I don't see why people get a Bloodthirster on Ezreal. Chances are, I heard this in another commentary, so I don't think this is original thought. I don't have a whole lot of those anyway. But I heard, who was it? I think it was the Odd One, actually. He brought the fact that he didn't really get why people got Bloodthirster on Ezreal specifically. Because chances are, if you're either going to get bursted down, in which case lifesteal doesn't really help much at all, or you're not going to take much damage, which is what you would want from Ezreal. If you're taking a whole lot of damage on Ezreal to the point where you actually need a Bloodthirster instead of like a Vamp Scepter and a Black Cleaver or a Vamp Scepter and an Infinity Edge, if you're taking that much damage, then chances are you fucked up somewhere along the way. So yeah, just sort of kiting back and forth, poking where I can. And this, I think it's gonna go down here. Look, I mean, just putting so much damage on my whole team here. I think I do actually fall here though. I think this is one of my deaths. No, maybe not. That may have already happened. And I'll be on saying GG here. Apparently she thinks it's over, which, I mean, I'd probably, I mean, I think it was over before this. I mean, if your AD carry is, if you have a legendary AD carry, especially, if they play it right, the game's over. There's not really a whole lot you can do. Obviously, there's some wiggle room depending on the team which champions are on which teams. If there's an AD carry that's 13-2 and their team is Cassid and Maokai and a bunch of really like good gap closing burst bruisers, that kind of team, then sometimes you have a chance if you can catch them with their pants down. But for the most part, if they play smart, then an AD carry being this fed is that's pretty much game over. There's not really a whole lot you can do. So picking up red here again. It's just great to have on Ezreal because it does proc on his Q. And you're basically slowing them, making them, because having a slow on your AD carry basically makes people choose. They have to choose whether they're going to fight or not. It's the same reason why people play Ashe, is that they get slowed so that they either have to choose to engage or run away. They don't have the luxury of being able to just poke back and forth and decide to run in when they want to, because they're slowed the whole time. So they can't take too much damage, or your team's just gonna chase and they're gonna die, or at least one of them's gonna die. Oh, here's where I go down. Yeah, just not smart. Get caught by a Shin taunt. I think QSS would have been a good buy this game. I was thinking of which defensive item I wanted to get. Because at this point, I'm doing enough damage. I was thinking about what defensive item to get, but yeah, see, I'm checking out who's fed on their team. I see that Jace is 7-2. But I just decided, if at all, I'll just go for more damage. It's always good to go for more damage. Waiting to spawn, and I'm sitting here, look, this is the reason why I need to get, which by the way I'm going to be getting while we play and start commentating some more pro games and replay games, so that I can have the option of looking at all these team fights, because I just missed like 90% of a team fight where Moore gets a double kill, and Kassadin gets a double kill, it looks like, I think. Yep, double kill for Kassadin, and then they surrender. So